Hare Krishna. Namo Shupata Krishna Vyaspooja Bhutale Shrimate Gopal Krishna Goswami Namine Prabhupada Sahitya Me Prakashivitairya Pracharam Krutva Sadhu Bhagavad Padayate Namaha. Namo Shupata Krishna Vyaspooja Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshitarne Om Ajnana Brandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He appeared on 14th August 1944 in New Delhi, India. The day was the 11th day of the waning moon, the auspicious day of Lord Hare, Annada Ekadashi. So today is Annada Ekadashi. So today is Vyaspooja of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, our Guru Maharaj. After graduating from the University of Delhi, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami studied business management at the Sorbonne University of Paris on a scholarship from the French government. Later, he also obtained a master's degree in business administration from the McGill University at Montreal. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami's life changed dramatically after he met His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada in 1968. His Holiness was living in Toronto at that time, having received an invitation from the President of the Montreal Temple. He arrived there on 30th May 1968. When His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami came to the temple, the President, His Grace Mahapurusha Dasa, announced that Srila Prabhupada would be arriving the next day, 1st June. After the Kirtana, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami asked Mahapurusha Dasa if there was any service he could do to clean Srila Prabhupada's room. And Gopal Krishna Goswami said in his own words, "I was fortunate enough to receive this as my first assignment in devotional service." He cleaned the doors, shelves and windows of Srila Prabhupada's apartment. In this way, his service attitude for Srila Prabhupada was manifest right from the beginning, even before he actually met Srila Prabhupada. He first met Srila Prabhupada in the evening of 1st June 1968 in Montreal. Within the first 2 weeks of meeting him, His Holiness knew that he would accept him as his spiritual master later. Around December 1967, 6 months before he met Srila Prabhupada, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami had a strong desire to surrender to the Supreme Lord. He had started visiting many Hindu temples, gurudwaras and churches, hoping to find out about God. Every Sunday, he would seek out a different church, temple or gurudwara and would spend the whole day there. In His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami's own words, "When I first met Srila Prabhupada, the motivation to surrender to God was already there in me. And 2 weeks after meeting him, I knew that Lord Krishna wanted me to surrender to Srila Prabhupada." Srila Prabhupada was always sympathetic and extra merciful to Indians, but of all the Indians who came to listen to him, young Gopal Krishna was very special. While all the other Indians would offer obeisances and sit for a few minutes, he was the only Indian who would come regularly and sit right till the lecture ended. During the 3-month period that Srila Prabhupada stayed and lectured in Montreal, His Holiness says, "Of course, I did not at any time know the importance of hearing, but my only small qualification was that I was very respectful to Srila Prabhupada from the first day I saw him, and I would stay for his lectures till the end and leave only after he had left the temple." Around that time, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami was working for Pepsi Cola, handling their marketing research. Srila Prabhupada started taking great personal interest in him and would talk to him almost every day. Since then, both of them started a regular correspondence, with Srila Prabhupada writing as many as 3 long letters every month. Thus began a very intimate Guru-Shishya relationship. On 27th May 1969, Srila Prabhupada wrote to say, "As your name is already Gopal Krishna, there is no need for changing it. You will now be known as Gopal Krishna Dasa." His Holiness was only 25 years old then. Later on, His Holiness moved into the temple and engaged himself fully in the service of Srila Prabhupada. For many years, he acted as his personal secretary. In 1975, Srila Prabhupada sent His Holiness to India. He had made His Holiness the governing body commissioner for the entire India from 1975 to 1976. Srila Prabhupada specifically instructed His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami to print and expand book distribution in India. He was already anxious that book printing in India should expand, says His Holiness. During my first 2 years, he would press me again and again to print more and more books. Srila Prabhupada was especially pleased when His Holiness presented him copies of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in Hindi. Srila Prabhupada encouraged His Holiness to utilize his talents to selling his books as widely as possible. Prabhupada said, "Now you can utilize your knowledge of marketing for Krishna's service. Idam hi pumas tapasya shruntasya va svitasya shruttasya cha buddhi dattayo." This is the perfection of education. Around this time, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami was also made GBC for Russia. Later, he made several trips to Communist Soviet Union and, risking grave danger, preached and distributed books over there. After the fall of the communist regime and the freedom granted to religious expression, he has helped establish many centers in the erstwhile Soviet Union. Today, our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, has many disciples in Russia. In 1981, His Holiness took to the sannyasa order, and a year later, in March 1982, on the auspicious day of Gaur Purnima, became a Diksha Guru, an initiating spiritual master. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami is also the chairman and trustee of the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, which is the largest publisher and distributor of Vedic literature all over the world. He is also the governing body commissioner for Western and Northern India, Kenya, parts of America, and many parts of the erstwhile Soviet Union. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami has been and is at present actively involved in many of Iskcon's current projects, including the multi-crore Glory of India project in New Delhi. This includes a multimedia visual display, a Vedic cultural museum, the Sri Sri Radha Parthasarathi temple, and an open-air theatre. In Bombay, that's present Mumbai, past services include a centennial committee that was formed to launch campaigns to create funds to celebrate Srila Prabhupada's centennial. These included the building of Srila Prabhupada's Memorial Hospital project, a nationwide communications project, Hare Krishna television project, and many more are being discussed and improvised. His Holiness has also procured land in Kurukshetra and Vrindavana for expanding preaching programs. Currently, this has manifested in heaven on earth. Another magnificent project, this time at Hare Krishna land, Juru. The Vedic educational and cultural complex at the heaven on earth is a multi-visit place where the robot show presents religious knowledge by using electronic power. There are also excellent facilities at the new revamped guest house and the unparalleled prasadam served at Govinda's here. Congregational participation is being encouraged in all spheres here and in other zones. In the erstwhile Soviet Union, His Grace has had phenomenal success in serving Srila Prabhupada. Across Delhi and the other zones, buildings have been acquired, book distribution is growing rapidly, Food for Life programs have been introduced and are thriving, weekly seminars are being conducted, restaurants are being developed, regular preaching programs are being conducted in schools and colleges, and people are becoming favorable to the movement. Other projects include youth cultivation programs, house programs in every corner of the world, and overseeing of the translation, printing, Srila Prabhupada's books. Youth and householders in the congregation are thriving in numbers and throbbing with enthusiasm in serving Lord Chaitanya's mission under Srila Prabhupada's instructions. Thus, Lord Krishna's mercy is being distributed everywhere. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami's spiritual enthusiasm makes even a skeptic pause and contemplate on his words, said one atheistic visitor. His aims are so clear, many are overwhelmed by his selfless and compassionate intellect as they strive towards becoming virtuous people. Even the subtlest concepts are explained with such admirable ease and patience. Srila Prabhupada always admired his qualities of head and heart, and he once remarked, Gopala is a very nice boy and he must be encouraged. Even hardcore atheists are attracted to his graceful simplicity. Every encounter, every gesture, and every answer brings out the inner conviction he has in the mission he has embraced. Srila Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki. As my Guru Maharaj, I want to say a few words about him. He has been very, very compassionate, very merciful, very understanding. He always encouraged us to advance in Krishna consciousness and to make Prabhupada's mission very strong and move it forward. And also, he blessed many, many devotees in Edmonton and encouraged many of us to become initiated disciples under him. So, thank you very much to my Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.